I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for another BDSM United podcast in our Setnakt's Sex Magic series. A major part of one's life is spent sleeping, normally with very little knowledge about what's actually taking place. One of the most important tasks for a more left-hand path adept magician is to work with dreams to gain control over your dark, mysterious side of consciousness. To develop dream control, you have to work hard to make the dreams conscious. The first task is to write down the dreams every time you awake in the morning, the parts that you were lucid enough to remember. Before going to bed, the magician should remember to write down a chosen theme to dream about. It can be basically anything, a place, a person, or some occult or magical symbol. The moon is a very powerful symbol that resonates well within the dream state. Magicians should meditate on the chosen theme for about 15 minutes before going to bed. A note with the theme should be placed under the pillow. To enable a breakthrough into the dream consciousness, the magician needs to change his sleep routine once in a while. You should get used to sleeping on your back, for example. This sleeping position stimulates lucid dreaming, while sleeping on the side or the stomach gives more rejuvenating dreamless sleep. It's also recommended to experiment with changing your sleeping hours. It can be enough with some hours here and there, but one must change it back and forth not to get caught in a new sleeping habit. It can also be good to extend the sleeping hours for a period to about 10 hours. The sleep will, in this case, become less deep and one will remember the dreams more easily. You should also be vigilant not to get caught in laziness. Magical work demands higher efficiency on all levels, so to be able to penetrate the structure of mundane life, the magician has to break his or her normal living pattern. All new acts will help achieve this and break the circle of limitations. Other dimensions, a form of middle worlds existing between the material plane and the divine, or between life and death, or the other side, have been an important topic among magicians, occultists, and mystics since as far back as anyone can remember. This dimension has, in Western esotericism, been referred to as the astral world. The shaman visits these worlds through drum journeys, the tantric during deep states of meditation. Ordinary people, though, visit these worlds more or less consciously in dreams. The astral dimension could be compared to an enormous net containing energy and consciousness in which the conceptions, memories, fantasies, dreams, and thought forms of all living people are gathered. This plane doesn't follow the same laws as the material plane. It's much easier to shape and form, and even if time and space is not as strictly law-bound, it exists in a more liquid form. The gate to the astral plane can be by a man's conscious or unconscious. Our mundane self is like an island surrounded by the sea of unconsciousness. Carl Jung compared this to the top of an iceberg. The small part is that which is visible above the surface. In the layer that's closest to the surface, we can find the personal unconscious that might carry repressed aspects of your personality or your hidden memories. The deeper you get, the further we move from the subjective aspects, and we begin closing in on the conceptions of the collective unconscious, which Jung described as archetypes. Everything that exists under the surface, while really the whole sea, can be likened to the astral plane. During sleep, we let go of the control over our mundane consciousness and we're filled with new energy. During this recovery process, our soul or astral body separates from the physical body and enters the astral dimensions where it can create and experience dreams. Our unconscious mind possesses greater creative power than our mundane awake mind. On the astral level, the creative power of the unconscious is fully active. When the magician begins to create a link between his or her awake self and the dream self, you'll start to become conscious of how the astral processes work. The first important step is to become conscious in a dream. To achieve this, the magician must put energy and attention to the dreams. The motivation and the will is the force that will enable lucid dreaming. A lucid dream is when the dream self is conscious and is dreaming and begins to experiment with the dreams in different ways. If the magician glances at the hands, for example, they will stay clear. But if one attempts to focus on something else, it will quickly melt away. It takes some work to be able to keep thought forms focused. It's now that the magician must begin to work with the dream to find a gate out to a conscious astral journey. At first, it might be interesting to play around in one's own wonderland and to create objects in one's surrounding. But in the long run, this is kind of a waste of energy. It's important to take the next step out of one's subjective dream. Almost anything can become a gate: mirrors, windows, doors, water. But also an unknown object that suddenly appears might seem to have an inherent power within itself. The magician should try to enter or follow such an astral object. One could also try to perceive the astral energies around yourself as a form of floating energy in order to become aware of the astral body. So the process from lucid dream to astral journey is very tangible. The dreamer is confronted with a very strong energy, and the surrounding no longer changes according to the will of the magician. It is instead very vivid, even clearer than on a material plane. Objects may appear to be radiating, and the colors are stronger. The vision is sharp and detailed. It might feel as if one is floating or flying around. The most powerful way to travel is to leave the physical body while fully conscious. An astral projection can be created by deep meditation or trance, or through what's commonly known as a sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a natural state, but it can appear frightening. Many non-magicians may involuntarily find themselves in this state. The magician strives to reach sleep paralysis. It's a state when the physical body sleeps while the mind is awake. At first, it may feel as if the mind is caught in a paralyzed body. Using various techniques such as relaxations and mantras, a magician can then learn to consciously separate his or her astral body from the physical body. The astral journey that begins with a conscious separation and then is located on the material level is referred to as an out-of-body experience. We've heard that term probably a lot in our lives. It's a very concrete and powerful experience and might occur spontaneously if one has an accident, a trauma, or maybe even at death. We can find several examples of people who, during near-death experiences, have seen their physical body from the outside and have been able to describe what was said and done, even though they were in a coma. During out-of-body experiences, one can experiment and control things in the material world. There are examples of people who have, in this manner, done things like astral espionage. This is the dimension where one may come across souls of the deceased that still dwell on the physical level for one reason or another. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast in our Setnakt's Sex Magic series as we're learning more about self-mastery and learning to become an adept in our spiritual practices. You can find all of our resources at www.bdsmunited.com. It was a joy speaking with you today, and we'll talk again soon.